We're constantly getting feedback, aren't we? From our friends, family, coworkers, and yeah, even from that little voice inside our own heads. So how in the world do you sort through all of it? How do you tell what's actually helpful and what's just noise that's meant to tear you down? That's exactly what we're going to get into right now. It all kicks off with this fantastic word, askance. It's just perfect, isn't it? It captures that sideways glance, that subtle vibe of disapproval or doubt. See, it's not always this big, loud confrontation. Sometimes the most powerful feedback is totally unspoken. It's all in a look. And getting a handle on this is the first step to decoding the messages that come our way. And that really brings us to the big question we all wrestle with. When someone, or even you yourself, questions a choice you're making, is it coming from a good place? Is it a genuine attempt to help out? Or is it just harsh, unhelpful judgment? Figuring that out is absolutely crucial for our own well-being and, honestly, for our own growth. So, what's the secret sauce here? How do you tell them apart? Well, it all boils down to one single powerful thing: intention. What's the intent behind the feedback? And when you look at it this way, the difference is, well, it's night and day. Healthy doubt, that comes from a place of genuine care. The goal is to protect you, to help you avoid a mistake. But unnecessary judgment, oh, that feels like an attack. Its only purpose is to strike you down, to make you feel small. There's no positive message, no path forward. This is such a brilliant way to picture it. Healthy doubt is a question mark. It opens up a conversation. It's asking, hey, have you thought about this angle? It invites you to think a little deeper. But judgment? That's an exclamation point. It's a final, brutal declaration. It just slams the door shut on any kind of discussion and basically shouts, you are wrong. Okay, I get it. This whole idea of good intent can feel a little fuzzy, right? A bit abstract. So let's ground it in a real-world example that makes it super clear: the craft of a really great comedian. Think about your favorite stand-up comic for a second. They're always talking about sensitive topics, poking fun at things, expressing doubt about the way the world works. So why do we laugh our heads off instead of getting offended? It's because their work is basically a masterclass in good intention. A great joke is built so carefully. The comedian isn't out there trying to hurt people. The whole point is shared enjoyment. They might shine a light on something absurd or questionable in society, but they do it in a way that brings the audience together, not to single someone out and be cruel. It's a critique, for sure, but it's wrapped in connection, and that is the very heart of healthy doubt. But let's be real, that's a perfect world scenario. What happens when the intention isn't as clear as a well-crafted joke? In day-to-day life, we're hit with ambiguous comments, subtle looks, and it's just exhausting trying to break down every single one. And this is just the reality of it. If we went on high alert for every little side-eye or vague comment, we'd be completely drained. The number of opinions flying around out there is just staggering. So here's the key thing to remember. You don't have to engage with all of it. You get to choose. So here's a practical, super low-stress way to deal with it. First up, just watch. Just observe with care. Real negative judgment, it can't hide forever. It'll show its true colors eventually through a pattern of behavior. Second, and this is a big one, give yourself permission to not react right away. You don't need to treat every little thing like a 5-alarm fire. And finally, remember that you are in the driver's seat. You get to decide if and when something is worth your energy. It puts all the power right back in your hands. This all brings us to one last and honestly really beautiful thought about how we figure out what's real and true, not just in the feedback we get from others, but in our own lives too. Just take a second with that. It's such a powerful image, right? The most profound truths, the biggest realities in our lives, they almost never show up with a marching band. They don't bang on the front door demanding to be let in. No, instead, truth is subtle. It's that quiet little doubt you have late at night. It's the theme that keeps popping up in feedback from people you know truly care about you. It's that askance look we started this whole thing with. So often, awareness starts as a little whisper, a tiny crack of light peeking through the blinds, way before it becomes a fully formed thought we can no longer ignore. So the real takeaway here is a question for you to think about. When you learn to separate that healthy doubt from the unnecessary judgment, you give yourself the space to actually notice these subtle signals. So pay attention to those glimpses. What quiet truths are peeking through for you?